Hello, welcome back to another Swans Cast match preview. I believe it's the first one I've done this year. I've had a couple off, to be fair, not that there's been much to preview. Swans have been on a torrid run of form, of course, in 2025. Ever since Luke Williams got linked to West Brom, it's just gone downhill, and they haven't stopped going downhill. And I think it's still going a little bit further down the hill at the moment. But I'm joined by Stuart from All Things Sky Blue, which is a little bit of a bittersweet preview to be doing because, yes, we're playing Coventry at home at the Swansea.com stadium this weekend, but they're also taking, Matt Grimes away from us by all accounts. Not technically officially confirmed by the time of this video, but I think we all know that it is happening for sure. The club has said they've accepted a bid. They didn't specify who from, which was a bit odd to me, but yeah, we know it's Coventry. So yeah, a bit of a weird one. We had a situation a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you were aware of, where our manager nearly was going to West Brom. By all accounts, was definitely going. And we were playing West Brom next. And then that didn't happen. And then It got a bit weird. And it's been a bit weird ever since, which is why we're in this slump, kind of. And a lot of us are curious if this whole transfer and everything that's going on at the moment is linked to some of that situation. Okay. Who knows? But it's weird that in the space of a month, now we've got our captain doing kind of the same thing, but this one obviously is going through. But going to a team who are now playing at home, weird thing to talk about. But that's the situation we find ourselves in. So anyway, before we get stuck in, can you just tell us where we can find All Things Sky Blue and what you do on your channel as well?
Yeah, you can find us at All Things Sky Blue on all of our social media channels, X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. We are on podcasts as well. So Amazon, Spotify, and wherever else that you get your podcasts from. Just type in at All Things Sky Blue.
And I'm sure you can hear a lot about Matt Grimes over there in the coming week or two. Obviously signing him and when he makes his debut. Hopefully you kind of look after him and cherish him the way that we have for the last 10 years. But we'll talk more about him maybe in a bit. Or the flip of this video, which I'm sure will be on your channel as well when we record that later on. So anyway, let's look at the season so far. I believe it's got a little bit better for yourselves, maybe more recently than it did at the beginning. So do you want to talk about your story so far? You're currently sitting in 12th place, won your last 3 games, sitting on 38 points. You're ahead of us in the league now. So what's happened this year? Obviously, managerial change as well within that.
Yeah. Obviously, we had Mark Robins within our first game when we lost, obviously, 2-1 to you guys at our place. Things weren't quite settled, really. From the start of the season, it got a little bit funny behind the scenes. Our assistant manager went at the start of the season. Mark Robins then wanted to change the backroom staff and not have a number 2 as such and just go for coaching staff, really, which just seemed a little bit odd. He promoted a few people and he brought a few people in, George Boateng and a couple of others, Reece Carr. And it just didn't kind of work out for him. And then we had a couple of good games. We narrowly lost 2-1 to Tottenham in the Cup. Really good game. And we had a couple of others in the league. And then we lost 2-1 to Derby at home, which was an awful performance as well. And Doug King made the call and he got rid of him. Reece Carr stepped up in interim basis. He had 3 tough games. He had Sunderland, Sheffield United and Burnley. I think he got 4 points, or did he get 4 points? No, 2 points, out of the 3 games, which were difficult games when we weren't playing that well anyway. And then we signed Frank Lampard. And his start, not everybody was entirely convinced, but he's turning a lot of people round now with the recent performances. We're 4 unbeaten if you include the Cup game against Sheffield Wednesday as well. So we're 4 unbeaten. I think he's unbeaten at home. So I think it's about 6 or 7 games now at home unbeaten. And away form is getting better. We are starting to play better football under him. We beat Blackburn at home and they were sitting, in 6th position, flying high. And they've got into a little bit of trouble now as well off the back of that. The only issue that I've kind of got going into this game is our current results against you, at home and away. You seem to be one of them sides that we just struggle to beat. So, if we can't beat you, we'll buy your best player.
Yeah, I think you've had the last laugh of that one, to be fair. Okay, well, since you brought him up, let's kind of chat about him before we get on to maybe the team and what to expect. Obviously, as I said earlier on, it's not technically announced yet, but I believe, by the time this video goes live, it might well be the case that it is. Do we see him playing at all in this game? Like, what do you think going into this? I don't know of any agreements official. I have heard potentially that maybe there's something, but probably not on paper, do you know what I mean? But like we discussed a little bit as well before this, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think it will be more of a gentleman's agreement that he doesn't play. Even if he's named on the bench, I don't expect him to come on. I think it might be a chance for him to sort of maybe walk around, if he is on the bench, walk around the pitch and sort of say his goodbyes to the fans properly in that sort of way. But I don't see him having any sort of game time, if I'm on it. I will be very surprised if it does happen. There won't be anything sort of formal written down that he can't. I just think it will be a gentleman's agreement. And I don't think he'd want to play either, being his first game, at the Swansea.com stadium. So yeah, I don't see anything happening. But look, I wanted him a couple of years ago. I mentioned off air about it, and I think he's a brilliant player. And if he replicates half the stuff that he's done with you guys, we'll be more than happy with our acquisition for what we've paid for him.
I think it's a bit of a steal, to be honest. I think his age obviously dictates the fee, but I'm still, I just don't think it's enough for the quality that what he's worth to Swansea.
Yeah.
That is, I'm surprised. I think a lot of people are surprised he never went to a higher club sooner. I think no one really wanted to ever take the gamble. There was a lot of links. He's been linked with a few Premier League clubs or high-end Championship clubs over the years. There was a few times it looked like he might go and then didn't sign a contract a few times as a result of that speculation in the past. He only signed a new contract earlier this season. We thought that was it then. Like, oh, okay, maybe he's going to start calming down a bit now and maybe we can look forward to him seeing out his playing days here. Because no one expected the one earlier this season. He wasn't really close to running out of contract at the time. Yeah. So we just thought that was it. That, he's resigned to, and he's quite happy to do that. So it's come out of the blue a little bit. I don't know the ins and outs of the reasons. Don't know if we'll ever find out the true reasons. Might just be a case of, he's been here for 10 years at the end of the day. Wants one more crack at, firstly, maybe increasing his wage because we are quite limited. And secondly, is he going to have one proper crack at the Premier League? Does he maybe think, I really don't know if it's going to happen here at Swansea? And it would be a shame if that's the reason, because I think he's been the person shouting that I can for a long time. And if he's the guy that's turned around and decided, yeah, I don't know anymore, doesn't put you in a good sort of frame of mind going into the next few years, I guess, and what's going on within the club. But we'll talk about that in our podcast, I guess, from our side. Yeah, but I think you've got a bargain of a player, and he's only 29, so I think he's still got a good few playing years. And
yeah, definitely.
Frank Lampard, a player who played at Swansea during his early years. I don't know what style of football he's putting in at Coventry. Maybe it's something you can discuss in a second. But if he's going to be using Grimes to kind of dictate that, that's what he does best, really, especially if he's on the floor, passing football sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely how he's wanted to play. Definitely more possession based. He comes in really at a fantastic time for us as well, because we've got Ben Sheaf who's out injured, and at the minute Sheaf can't really stay fit because I think we tend to maybe rush him back a little bit too fast because we've got no cover. Grimes is a signing that everybody was really wanting in the summer. Not necessarily Matt Grimes himself, but that type of player. Somebody with experience, somebody with know-how, somebody that just doesn't get injured, it seems. and he's just perfect. It means that we haven't got to rush Sheaf back, and when Sheaf does come back, we've got four really, really good midfielders to choose from, maybe for only 2 slots or maybe even 3 slots. So it's really good, and you can just imagine the best Sheaf and the best Grimes. That's got to be one of the best midfields in the Championship, when they're both on form. So, really looking forward to it. Like I said, both can dictate play, can play as that holding midfielder, and they can pivot each other. They can allow each other to go forward. They can both score goals. They can both pick a pass. So, just really, really exciting to see him on his own, and, with Radoni and Torp included in that. We've got Hadji Wright to come back. We've got Mason Clark to come back. So, we're starting to make a move, hopefully. Playoffs, I still think, are slightly out of our reach at the moment. But look, you never know in a couple of league games' time. If things have gone our way, you never know where we might be.
You're only 6 points off. I don't know if any Swans fans are listening anymore after that. You're getting excited about Matt Grimes, but
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, I believe I'm right in saying that we got relegated in 2018. I think it was 2017-18 season, and he's only missed 4 games in the league for us ever since. So I mean, about not getting injured. You mentioned not getting injured, and very good record there. Watch him go and have a long-term injury now. The second he kicks the ball,
God,
that'd be typical, wouldn't it? I mean,
completely.
Hopefully not. He deserves to move on and do what he wants. He's been good down here, so can't, as much as it hurts, can't really begrudge him. I think he's over 300 appearances down here, so hopefully it works out for him. Not against us, though, of course. Okay, so style of play then. You said Lampard wants to maybe pass the ball a little bit more. Has he settled on a team and the formation then? What were we expecting to see?
Wow. Injuries have kind of dictated that he's had to change it slightly. When he first come in, he was playing with more of a 4 at the back and playing a 4-3-3 with 2 wingers. Mason Clark being probably the standout under Lampard early on when he first came in. But he came down with a hamstring issue. So he's been out for the past 3 or 4 games, maybe a couple more. Sakamoto has kind of not been a feature just because we've moved now to a back 3 and he's playing with wing backs a little bit more, and he's playing 2 up front. So it's more of a 3-4-1-2 kind of formation. But it's weird. It's worked out quite well for us because he's definitely improved, our midfield. Whatever they're doing on the training ground has definitely improved them. Torp's playing much better now. He scored 2 goals against Watford, a beautiful free kick as well. Radoni's coming on leaps and bounds. Lampard hasn't even seen Hadji Wright train yet until this week. So we've got Hadji Wright to come back as well. Sims is playing a little bit better. So is Asante. So, and we're defending better, which what we wasn't doing before. We are becoming a little bit more harder to beat. So, everything, touch wood, everything's looking good. And obviously with hopefully it's announced either later on tonight or tomorrow, Grimes just adds steel to that, midfield and stuff. And it's just, looking forward to it.
Okay, so who are the key players that we need to be watching out for that might be available to feature in this game?
Matt Grimes, central midfielder. No, I'm only joking.
Right, end video now.
I'm sorry again.
That's just fine. That's fine.
Probably Radoni for me. He's in double figures for goal contributions. He's scored 3. He's got 8 assists. So Radoni for me probably. Sims is looking better. And against Blackburn away, Asante and Sims both scored. So maybe that's something that they're working on, away from home, trying to get them involved a little bit more. But yeah, probably Radoni is the key one for me. Really, is he's stepping up in terms of helping us get the assist and helping us move forward. So that's good.
And if I can ask you the same question, who worries you from a Swansea perspective? Usually Grimes is quite often the answer here, so it'd be interesting to see what people say now.
Yeah, I know. And it would have been Grimes, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, that's really, it's a few situations.
I don't even know if I can answer the question myself anymore, but yeah, you can see where you come with.
I'm just trying to think, actually. Let me just have a quick look.
It's always tricky when I put this one on the spot. I know you probably don't watch that much of Swansea, so if
you've
got no one, that's fine.
Have you still got that Jan Vinopnik.
Yeah, Vinopnik, yeah. He hasn't been starting that often recently.
Actually, has he not? Oh, okay.
He might come off the bench, but yeah, we have still got him. So
okay.
Be interesting to see what direction he goes with the forwards. I'm not really sure. I can't really predict at the moment because the form's not good. Maybe he'll get a start because he haven't really for the bad period. So maybe that's a change that will happen.
Yeah, maybe Kubango as well. Obviously, I know he's been made captain now as well because Grimes is gone. So
yeah, well, Grimes convinced him to sign a new contract about 4 weeks ago. And
oh, really? Oh, wow.
I know.
So
yeah, probably like,
here
you go, mate. This makes it better for you.
But yeah, look, it's a difficult one because obviously you're not in the best, form yourself, really.
It's an understatement, but yeah.
But look, if you're going to change it against anyone, Coventry's a team that you're probably going to change it against, isn't it?
To be fair, we lost recently at home. Our away form is tragic, but our home form is not too bad. So it looks worse paper-wise. West Brom we drew 1-1. Probably should have lost that game, but we did get a point. And then Sheffield United we lost 2-1, but that was a complete and utter robbery. Worst refereeing performance I've ever seen in person.
Oh, wow.
Absolute howlers left, right, centre. Red card shouldn't have been a red card, in my opinion. 2 missed penalties for us, nailed on in the first half, and then give them one in the second half. I'm not saying it wasn't a penalty, but for the brush away what he brushed off in the first half, and then to give the one he gave, it's like, right, where's the consistency? Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
And challenges flying in left. It's Chris Wilder team, innit? You know what they do.
Yeah.
But our players getting booked in for what seemed nothing, or because they were getting frustrated, and then the most cynical fouls all across the pitch, just getting nothing, getting away with it. And
we've been there. Who was the referee? Can you remember?
I try and have a look. I don't know. I was more angry. I don't even remember his name. Yeah.
Don't tell me it was Bobby Madley.
No, he's one I know is a problem. It wasn't him.
Right. Okay.
Don't know where to look, to be honest. I don't know if it shows on SofaScore these days. I'm not sure who it was, but yeah, it was not great. Did not enjoy that at all. So what I'm trying to say is we actually played really well in that game.
Yeah.
Which was a surprise then for us to go away to Norwich and get absolutely thumped again. So
I know.
Really can't put my finger on what's going on. But I couldn't tell you what sort of Swansea team's going to turn up, especially after this news with Grimes. Apparently the squad is not happy about it. They think the timing's a bit poor. And I mean, he's been club captain for a long time, do you know what I mean? And he waited until the last 2-3 days of the transfer window. And I couldn't tell you a name linked with replacing him and what we got a day left. So,
well, I have seen one person for you guys, because obviously I have been looking, and Cipriano from Peterborough.
So I did see his name earlier. I've been working, but someone messaged me about him earlier, but I haven't had a chance to look into it. He's their captain as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Well, we've been
playing to steal the captains.
Well, we've been linked with Cipriano before. He is a good player, so Is
he young or what's?
He's 20. He's 23.
Same sort of player. As Grimes,
similar player to Grimes. So it would be a like for like kind of thing, really. But he is a good player.
that's nice to hear, I guess. But whether it comes off or not is another question. So we don't like spending money. So it depends what they want. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for coming on and speaking about the game. Have you got a prediction going into this one? Or you said you don't. You have a little bit of pessimism about the results in the past, but do you think it's going to be the one that changes that?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that we do change our fortunes at your place and that we do get the win. Like I said, we are playing better. We are harder to beat. Our goalkeeper for me has been man of the match in the past 3 games, with some of the saves that he's been pulling out. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Cov. Okay,
well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it isn't that for us, of course. But I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. It wouldn't surprise me if it is. I'm not going to be at this match. I'm quite glad I'm not going. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm working. It's one of those where it's like, I actually don't feel so bad for missing this one. But there we are. It's not going to. Maybe it would be fine. I'm just not sure how the atmosphere will be like after the. Unless they pull something out of the bag tomorrow, maybe that'll change it. But we'll see. But yeah, thanks Stu for coming on. Can you remind everyone where we can find all things Sky Blue, please?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you very much. We are available on X or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Please go and like and subscribe. We're also available on podcasts, so Spotify, Amazon, or wherever I see you get your podcast from. Just type in at All Things Sky Blue.
There we go. Go check them out. Of course, they'll be doing a bit on Grimes, I'd imagine, and a preview to this game. So, go check out that, and we shall see you in the next preview.
Thank you very much.